Thank you for having me today. My name is Guofang Li. I am a professor and a Canada Research Chair in the Department of Language and Literacy Education. I've been here since 2015. I've been involved in research in early childhood education, teacher education, and more larger scale studies. Well, I am involved in two current projects that are relevant to early years. One is childhood multilingualism, and where I look at how home language environment and how parents' role in the home and how that affects early childhood multilingualism and in particularly bilingualism, biliteracy development. I look at different factors, for example, parental engagement patterns, technology use, and gender roles, socioeconomic status of the family, and other social-cultural factors in the home that affects childhood bilingualism or multilingualism. I also have a project that's ongoing in a school district where I help the school to redesign some of the literacy programs to encourage more multilingualism, more affirming students' linguistic and cultural diversity and their fans of knowledge from home. I think it influenced a lot. My early studies have been predominantly more qualitative. Increasingly, I'm looking at more mixed methods using both qualitative and quantitative methods. Another trend is I'm using more longitudinal studies. The reason is that when we use one type of methods, you can only answer certain aspect of the questions. For example, in the home environment, where you want to understand some different dimensions of home literacy environment, you have qualitative aspect rely on parents and input and like observation of children, but that's also only part of the story. So we use more quantitative methods to supplement what we want to know from the home environment. And increasingly, I'm using more longitudinal studies because we try to follow children's development over the early years to understand their development in different languages and also the factors that change in their language and literacy environment. One pivotal moment in my doctoral studies, actually, I was interviewing a family with young children at home. And the family actually was very devoted to the children's language and literacy learning in the home. So bought spent a lot of money and bought a set of Britannica, Encyclopedia Britannica, and to help their children's learning. But from my early childhood perspective, parents need to have more age-appropriate, content-appropriate, and language-appropriate books. But for young children, definitely Encyclopedia Britannica is not really very useful. But it did indicate the parents' hope for the children to become very literate. However, that incident prompted we need to understand the parents' beliefs and their practices, more nuanced understanding, their cultural practices. After that interview or visit with the family, I had a chance to visit the schools with the family and talk to the teachers. And the teachers actually had a totally different, somewhat deficit orientations towards the children and the family's expectation for the children. So this kind of like pivotal moment make me realize we cannot just understand one side the story, but both sides of the story to understand parents' children's perspectives and practices, as well as schools or early childhood educators' perspectives. So I mentioned about emotional parents' emotional labor and emotionality of facilitating childhood multilingualism in the early years, and I also mentioned about the gender aspect. So the third aspect is technology. As I noted that we have explored how the technology or digital devices used in the home has shaped both Chinese first language and English development at home. Some preliminary findings, but our data was collected during the pandemic and using very limited resources at the time. But moving forward, we want to know how AI, now the major driver of technological advances now, how parents use AI, children use AI in their home environment to support different language and literacy learning. And lastly, I want to emphasize that we need to have more research to promote school and home, and especially early childhood educator and parent collaboration and co-engagement in the children's in bilingual and multilingual development.